What's going on, guys? It's New York Prepper here, and it's about 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time in the United States, and I'm about to go shopping to get some extra preps for the possibility of a major pandemic due to the coronavirus in Wuhan. Now, keep in mind, I have a lot of preps already, so for me, I don't have to suddenly go out and buy a ton of stuff right now because I have a few months worth of food. I have water on hand, and I have multiple freshwater sources near me. I have plenty of firearms and ammunition if I need to defend my house and my family. I have medical supplies if I have to deal with any kind of injuries or infections. I have sanitation supplies to keep things clean and prevent disease buildup. I have surveillance equipment. I have communications equipment with ham radio. I have a lot of preps that I've been building up over the last decade. I started prepping in 2009, so 11 years I've been prepping and slowly building. So I'm not going to say that you guys need to go and do that overnight, and I'm not saying that I'm the most prepared person either. There's obviously areas I want to increase my supply levels with, but most of the main things I don't need to worry about because I have been prepping. So, if you've been doing the right thing and you've been prepping, you're not going to need to go and suddenly panic buy a bunch of food or panic buy a bunch of ammo. Or panic buy water bottles and things like that, because if you're a prepper, you should have all your bases covered already in those areas. Your foundational preps, as I like to call them, your food, water, self-defense, medical, sanitation, communications. Those are your foundational preps. Your fuel. Those you should always have, and those things will have carryover into any situation, whether it's a pandemic, whether it's a nuclear war or nuclear exchange, whether it's stock market collapse or economic collapse, whether it's, World War III, whatever the situation is. If you have your foundational preps, you don't have to worry about panic buying, But what I am doing is I'm buying a few specialized items that will help me in a pandemic situation. And so I'm going to show you guys what I'm buying. I'm going to take you to the store with me, and you can see for yourself, where to buy the good stuff. And, you don't really need to spend a ton of money here. You just need to know what to buy, and you need to be very specific on what you're going to buy and know what you're buying and what the reason is for it. So join me as we go shopping for some pandemic supplies. Alright guys, so the first stop is a home improvement store. It doesn't have to be Lowe's, it can be any home improvement store. But this is the one that's close to me at the moment right now. So I'm going to go in here and show you guys what I'm getting. Alright guys, so we're in the paint section now. Surprisingly, they have masks right on the outside on the aisles. Makes you wonder if they put them out here because of the coronavirus. So we're gonna grab some of these, and like I said, you want to make sure they're N95. N95 is what you want to get. So you want to check the labels. See, it'll say N95. This one's P95, so we're going to skip on this one. We want to look for N95. So let's check in the aisle. Maybe they have some in the aisle. Alright guys, so here we got the N95 mask. You want to make sure you get the N95, which means it filters out 95% of the particulates in the air. So you want to stock up on some of these. We're going to get some of these right now. Alright guys, we're in the paint aisle now. We're just getting some full coverage coveralls by DuPont. These are lead and asbestos rated. which should be good enough for pretty much any situation with regards to a pandemic. So these are just the coveralls. These are $13.99 each. I'm gonna grab some of these. All right, guys, another thing you may want to consider is some plastic sheeting, which can act as a barrier to any biological or chemical agents or any pandemic. So here I just have some medium duty 3 mil plastic sheeting. It's pretty cheap. You can use this to seal off your doors, seal off your windows if there's any pandemic or biological attack or chemical attack. It's just a very handy thing to have. It has multiple uses, so definitely grab yourself some of these. And these are also in the paint aisle. Alright guys, so we got our Tyvek by DuPont. We got the full coverage suit here, and it's good for lead and asbestos, and should be good for pandemics. It's not the best, but it's a pretty good option. It's like $10 for one of these, and if it's good enough for asbestos, it should be good enough for viruses. And just remember, obviously, any kind of hazard suit, it's not 100% guaranteed, but it will help a little bit if you have to go out in public for whatever reason, or if there's somebody sick and you're taking care of them, you want to protect yourself. I got this 3 mil plastic, I'll show you guys here, medium duty 3 mil plastic cloth here, or it's like a drop cloth basically, but you could use this as a barrier to protect yourself from any kind of virus or biological or chemical agent. You can tape off your doorways so you seal off the airflow from the outside. You can seal off your windows to make sure it's airtight. And then I got my N95 masks. I got a couple more of these. I have a few already, but I'm going to increase the stockpile. And the next thing we're going to do is we're going to go to our local supermarket, and I'll show you guys some things that you can get over there to help you guys out, so stick with me. Alright guys, so I'm here at Stop and Shop. That's one of the grocery stores that's still open this time of night, and I'm going to show you guys some stuff that you can get here at a low price that will help you to stay safe during this upcoming pandemic. Alright guys, so we got some hand sanitizer here, $2.99. I'm gonna grab some more. I already have some at my house, but I'm gonna get some more. So, hand sanitizer. Alright guys, so here we are in the medical section, and we're getting some medical grade face masks, which are actually really cheap. They're only $2.99 for 5 of these. So you should get a couple of them just to have them on hand if you're out and about. You know, just to protect yourself from other people that may be sick if they have the coronavirus. This is more for everyday use. So like if you're going to work or you're going out in public, these are good to have. And they're cheaper than the N95 masks, so you can buy a lot more of them. So here I'm going to get some, and there's also some latex gloves here as well, which are only $5.50 for a box of 50. These are very good to have if you're taking care of somebody, or when you're traveling. So if you're touching doorknobs and things like that, you don't get your hands contaminated. So get yourself some of these, and you should be good to go. You know, your mask, latex gloves, hand sanitizer, and these things are not expensive at all. So, and latex is the best as far as stopping viruses and bacteria. It has the best protection. It's better than vinyl, so make sure you get latex. Alright guys, so our final stop will be filling up the gas tank in my vehicle, and And that should be it for me. And keep in mind, everybody, you know, is at a different level of prepping. So like for me, I don't need to worry about food preps or water purification, sanitation, medical. I already have a lot of those things, so I don't really need to worry about it too much. But if you're just new into prepping, you know, you definitely need to look into, you know, making sure you have enough food in case there's a pandemic. You want to make sure you have enough food. You want to make sure you have enough water or access to water. You want to make sure you have medical supplies, basic medical supplies. You know, even just a good set of multivitamins, you know, so you have good nutrition. You know, sanitation stuff like bleach and vinegar and things like that. You know, obviously self-defense, you know, your firearms and any parts and accessories for your firearms, you know, batteries, torque, you know, wrenches to torque down, you know, different bolts, you know, make sure you have wrenches for them. You know, any other peripheral equipment for your firearms, you know, ammunition. I don't need to really worry about these things because I'm well prepared for all those other aspects. But you know, another thing too is fuel. You can store fuel, but you got to remember that fuel goes bad, and it's also dangerous to store a lot of fuel. So the best way to store fuel is in your gas tank. Keep your gas tank, you know, full as much as possible, especially now because we're gonna head into a weekend and people are gonna be buying a lot of gas, especially, you know, as the news breaks that there's gonna be more of these cases, which I suspect over the next few days there'll be more and more cases of, you know, the coronavirus in the US. So people are gonna be panicking. They're gonna be buying everything, and you know, gas is going to be one of those things that people are going to be buying. So make sure you keep your gas tanks full. And if you do store fuel, make sure you have a safe place to store it. And make sure you rotate your fuel at least once every 3 months. So what I typically do is I take one of my containers, my gas cans, and every 3 months I'll pour it into my car, and then I'll refill that gas can, and I label each gas can with a number so I know that I'm rotating the proper gas can. So that's a simple way that you can just keep your gas fresh, is just, you know, use your gas periodically that you have stored and just refill it. So that's just a simple tip, and you know, that's pretty much it, guys. So I'll keep you guys posted on anything that develops over the next few days. I'm going to be keeping an eye on this situation. So if anything crazy happens, I'm going to report it to you guys. So, you know, make sure that you, you know, start getting ready if you haven't been getting ready yet. And I'll keep you guys posted. All right, guys. So here we are filling up some gas. Just getting some regular 87. You know, it's good to keep your gas tank topped off, especially now. But you know, don't put too much stock into what the media says and what the CDC is telling you. You know, the government is always in the interest of quelling panic, making sure people don't panic. They don't want people panicking, especially if people are sick. The last thing they want to do is tell people that there's a major pandemic, because then people are going to start traveling, they're going to start moving around, and especially people that are concerned if they live in cities, they may try to escape the city. So, you know, they definitely don't want to tell people. They want to keep it a secret, you know, because if you have a lot of these big cities like New York or Chicago or LA, you know, people are going to start panicking once they find out that there's a pandemic situation. So they're not gonna tell the truth, you know, because they don't want the millions of people in the cities escaping and fleeing. So just keep that in mind, guys. You know, don't trust the government. They have their own agenda. So That's pretty much it, guys. I hope this video helped you out. I'm going to be on top of this situation. I'm going to be live streaming tomorrow night, and if anything unusual pops off, I may live stream even earlier. So take care, God bless, and remember the 3 Ps: prepare, practice, and persevere.